Welcome back to the ETF Inspector. It's Monday, August 25th, a little after 8:30 at night, and this is our daily recap video for LFGY. That's YieldMax's crypto portfolio option income ETF. Sorry, I'm still scrolling to it. There we go. This video has been separated out on its own since Alti and Salty kind of go hand in hand together. So this is more of its own little thing. I've been talking about it being on the chopping block. A lot of people are asking for it to stay. So for now, it stays. Reminder, I'm on X at ETF_Inspector1. I post things like when videos are premiering, trades for other funds that I cover, thank yous for people becoming supporters of the channel. Shane and Tara recently became supporters, buy me a coffee, similar with Mr. Dennis Wang, and also like to shout out Mr. Darren Winslow, who has many times given to the channel. So he did a $5 super thanks. So thank you, all of you, for all of the support. Very much appreciated. All right, we crypto got beat up today. That's kind of the moral of the story on LFGY. It was down 1.34%. Now this isn't working. And we have lots of red with a little bit of green sprinkled in. Overall, the fund was down. Not sure why this isn't working, but we'll get rid of it for now. All right, normally we start off going through trades, but YieldMax is having an issue with their website. So when we go to the intraday trades, this happens. So unable to download the trades, so that's going to make this video shorter because we don't have anything to talk about on this page. When it becomes available, I will fill it in and make sure we've captured all the numbers so we're not missing anything in our calculations. So the only thing I guess we could go on this page, if you missed Sunday's video, you probably want to go back and check it out, but our estimate for the payment this week came out to 40 cents per share. Okay, as far as the individual holdings within it, the underlyings, Bitmine Immersion, down 7.27%. That took their calls that are sold at 54 down to 8.8% out of the money. Before I go any further, LFGY trades a covered call strategy for the most part. They do not trade that collar strategy like Ulti does, where they are protecting their shares. There's no protection here. Okay, so for the most part, they're selling calls, trying to make income off of that. Sometimes they purchase a call further out in the event that the stock runs up too high. It limits how much they'll have to pay to close it out, but there's nothing downwards. Once in a while, they also do put spreads, so we will highlight those as well. In general, if I don't mention it, the options are sold out to this coming Friday. They pretty much always do a weekly. But then once we get part of the way through the week, we start switching over and roll into the following week. But there are a couple of stocks that trade monthly, so we'll highlight them as well because they don't have as many expiration dates available. BitDeer Technology, second, they were down 1.7%, 6.7% out of the money on those $14 calls. CleanSpark down 3.7%. 5.82% out of the money on those 10s that are sold. Coinbase down 4.33%. 340s are now 11+% out of the money. Core Scientific up almost 1%. Still 9.5 or more percent out of the money on those 15s. Circle Internet Group down 7.26%. Down to 125 now. I remember when they were up around 200. I think my brother got like $10 to sell a put for the end of the year for 100 or something like that, and it seemed like free money. And now they've dropped $75 since then. I know he closed it out pretty quickly when he got to keep something like 60% of the money in very short time. But that drop today brought these 136s to 8.5% out of the money. iShares Ethereum Trust ETF. That's ETHA ticker, was down 8.5%+. So they're the big loser today in a fund full of losers. So they're giving back, everybody's giving back everything they made on Friday and then some, a lot of the time. 13.6% out of the money now on these 38s. Again, some of these may be getting rolled today, and we just didn't find out because of the download not working. Not a whole lot of money sitting on the sidelines, 1.4 million in government funds. I always forget to mention the second one, so let's go talk about it now. Cash is negative 1.6, so not a lot of money sitting in at all, actually. Galaxy Digital down almost 4%. These calls are still in the money even after this drop, so they must have got rolled before Friday last week. 0.2% in the money on those 2450s. GameStop down 0.92%. This is one that kind of goes against the trend. These are a put spread as opposed to a call spread. So these 23s are in the money by 1.4% because the stock dropped below that 23 mark. Robinhood market's down 1.25%. 109s are 1% out of the money now, just about. Hut 8 Corp up 0.34%. They've got 2350s and 2450s sold. As you can see, the 2450 is really the one that matters. There's only 57 contracts at the first. There's 3,785 at the higher strike. They're 0.2 and 4.4% out of the money. iShares Bitcoin Trust ETF, no options traded, so it's just the shares themselves. And they went down over 5% today, so that dropped the value of the fund by nearly $1 million on that single holding. Mara Holdings down almost 5.5% today. So those 17s that they have sold calls are 10+% out of the money. MBTX is next. There's no gray line there because they don't own any shares. We just have a call spread, which is a credit call spread, and a put spread, which is a debit put spread. So the call spread sold calls at 280 to generate the income. They expire September 19th. They're 6.85% out of the money after today's drop. And then the debit put spread, these 255s are what we watch. That's why we've got it blue there, because we actually want these to go in the money. So I didn't want to confuse people with the coloring system backwards, because if these go in the money, these become more valuable to the fund. So they're getting close. 2.6% out of the money. Expect when we download the holdings tomorrow that number to jump nicely, probably in the 6 millions. Mercado Libre down 0.94% today. 2500s are sold. They're 3.8% out of the money. Strategy, formerly MicroStrategy, down 4.17%. Right there. If Bitcoin's going to drop, then MicroStrategy is going to drop even more. So they're down they're almost 2% out of the money on those sold 350 calls. NU Holdings is the big winner today, up just over 2%. And of course, for everything to be going, the one that goes up 2% goes into the money. The $14 calls are sold. Stock ended at $14.23, so they're 1.6% in the money. NVIDIA up just over 1%. They have 180s sold that are 0.1% out of the money. So you would say that a lot of these they're capped, but in a sense, since this is very actively managed, the capping is not so severe because they are quick to close and roll the positions to uncap them to be able to go back to picking up the upward movement in the shares themselves. Opera was up 0.25%. 1750s sold for September 19th are 8.8% out of the money. PayPal down 0.6%. This is another one of the different ones. Only a put spread, not a call spread. So they sold puts at $68. Stocks at $69.48. So those are still 2.1% out of the money. Riot Platforms up 0.45%. 1350 calls sold are 1.6% out of the money. And finally, block down 0.5 of a percent. So just barely. What is it? 4 cents. $73 puts, so another put spread, are 7.6% out of the money. There's still plenty of room there. So all in all those decreases with a couple of increases resulted in a $5 million decrease in value of the fund. All right, well, when the day started, we had 5,250,000 outstanding shares. We won't find out till later whether that changed or if more people bought into the fund or sold out of it. When the day started, we had 187 million in assets under management and a 35.68 NAV. That dropped today, obviously, as the values of everything dropped, bringing our closing price down in that 35.28 range. 41.27 was our most recent distribution, and we will find out on Wednesday what the next one is. So sorry for the short video. Again, we don't have any trade information, nothing we could do about it. And dad joke went to the Ulti video, so if you want the dad joke, you got to go watch that one as well. I don't think I can come up with so many dad jokes every single day. I'm going to run out. But all right, sorry about I think I'm catching a cold, so voice is a little funny for a little while. But other than that, good luck trading tomorrow, and I'll catch you in the next video.